Hello, Serge here from the back porch. I read someplace in a blog, I believe it is, that a comment came from a Steve Lasher from Houston. And Steve made this comment was just really important. I think it needs to be addressed. And Steve said, feel and reality are two different things. Absolutely true. And the most important part of playing golf is to make feel be reality, in that what you're feeling is exactly the Serge swing and the swing you're trying to make to the best of your ability. And so why is that critical? Well, we're all basically field players. I think sometimes people make an excuse in us, and especially maybe even tour players, and they talk about, oh, I'm a field player. Well, you have to be a field player. But first off, you can't ever feel the swing you want until you first set up into a setup that feels correct to give you the swing that you want to feel to hit the golf ball. So, as you know, you've heard me say once, if not 1,000 times, and have read it in my writings and everything else, is that the whole purpose of a good practice swing is to set up properly and for the swing you want to create, feel the swing all the way to the tee finish and recoil and relax. So then you step up to the ball and then you swing that feel. So you're taking mechanics out of it. And I in our putting video that I did with Jack Moore, he said when it comes to putting, if you're thinking about mechanics, there can be no target, and therefore if you're thinking about target, you're not thinking about feel. So same thing applies in the golf swing. Yeah, I've set up properly. I make to make sure that my alignment is correct. I'm swinging, and I'm going to be swinging to and starting the ball on the line I want it to. If you're hitting a dead straight shot to the target, your aiming line is the same as your target line. But if you were trying to work the ball or had to play for the wind that was blowing, say, right to left, you would have to aim a little bit more to the right for the wind to blow it there. That point where you want to start your ball now becomes your aiming line. So either way, you have to be set up properly to your aiming / target line, and in a proper setup with all your body in the right position. So when you feel that that's correct, then you'll be able to make the swing that you need to feel to hit the shot you want to hit. So as I've said, practice swings are feel the swing, then step up and and then swing the feel. And so I think a couple ways to do that is, number one, I've seen many times in lessons and in the golf schools, players think they are really making the Serge swing pretty much correctly, and they're off in some regards. In many cases, most likely the biggest point is still overturning or swinging a little longer than they believe they're swinging. And that happens because we can't see ourselves. Now, the good thing about it is they've come to a lesson, to take a lesson or come to a golf school because in many cases, they're hitting the ball a lot better because they're swinging a lot better, they're setting up a lot better, but they know it's not off and they want to get corrected. And so the good feeling about that is in many cases, we show them that in the schools or in a lesson, I show them that they're really quite off from what they think and what they're feeling, but yet they're hitting the ball so much better than what they were, so I don't even want to see where they were before. So I think that's important, that you can come and find a certified instructor, or if you have a friend that knows about the Serge swing and is into it with you, you can help each other out. But in the end, getting qualified instruction from a certified instructor takes it to another level. Another way you can check yourself out is to get a camera. I mean, the camera I'm using is just a little pocket camera. It's a Kodak IE8. It looks about the size of a cell phone. It's high definition. It's got an automatic USB port built right in it. You plug it into your computer, and it'll bring up the page. You click on the site on the correct thing, and you can be looking at your swing on your computer and checking it out. Another way is to stand in front of a window or a mirror, like you can get on your back porch, like I'm here, and get in one of the big windows. Keep the house inside a little dark, and you can swing out there and check it out. You can swing, you can swing looking at it and check your swing out that way. You can kind of stand this way and see where if the club is vertical, how much you're turning. So you can use those things. And lastly, but not leastly, the one you can do even on the golf course is to shadow swing. You can stand there if you want to see the best part about your swing. In most cases, if your head's staying still and you're not moving laterally either way, backwards in the backswing, or reverse tilting in the forward swing, or reverse weight shifting in the backswing, just stand here with the sun directly at your back, and you can see all of that. You you can actually, another good thing when there, if I'm looking at the saddle on the ground, which is right in front of me, I'm actually still have my head down in the position where I can be looking at the ball, just to raise my eyes a little bit more. So I'm in a perfect position, and I can see all of this happening, even to my finish, and glance a little bit, and you can check your finish out. And the beauty about your shadow is, I call your shadow your best friend. He never ever tells a lie. He only tells you what you're doing. You see it. And the beauty of it is you see it in real time. So like looking at your video that you just videotaped yourself, you have to leave and go look at the camera. In terms of this IEA camera, again, I could look at it right there on the camera and just put it back while it's on the tripod or whatever. But your shadows is instant time. And the beauty of studying where you're going to be looking at yourself is that the more senses you use, the more powerful the feedback. And if you know what you're looking for, did you see it or don't you see it? Whether it be the shadow, the image on a window or a mirror, and actually looking at your camera. And the last thing I always tell people about cameras is always film yourself when you're swinging good too. We tend to only put ourselves on camera and look at it when we're swinging bad. Well, it'd be good to do it when you got it good, so that way you could check the bad against the good, and see the difference in where you're off and what you need to fix. So vision is important. I think it's critically important because, as I said just a second ago, the more senses you use, the more powerful the feedback. And they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and you don't only get pictures from a camera. Again, as I said, you can get them from the windows or mirrors looking at your reflection, and you can get it from your best buddy on the ground, your shadow. And that one's great because you could do it right in the middle of a round, and that is not an outside age, because a shadow is a shadow. It was given to us by God. It's there. If the sun's shining, take advantage of it and check yourself out. So feeling can fake us out, but in the end, you have to know what the correct feelings are, and there's no better way than to see yourself doing it so you can find out those positions and learn them and memorize them. And sometimes they might feel a little bit radical. You might feel, wow, I know it's perfect, but boy, does that feel like I'm over here or I'm over there. It doesn't feel anything like I think it does. Well, if it's where you want to be, then that's what you have to memorize and remember so you can get those swings where you can feel a good practice swing and then swing the field to hit good shots. Well, that's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.